Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Kimonica and this channel focuses on weight loss and lifestyle content. If you think that would be something you would be interested in, please be sure to subscribe before you go. Welcome to another video, y'all. So as y'all can see, I am finally in the vanity room and I have something so good that I've been wanting to do for probably about a month now after I watched maybe like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the episode, and I was just like, oh, this is gonna be good. I gotta watch it with my peeps, right? But so many things had happened, y'all, and I just couldn't get around to it. But I do know from what I read in the blogs is that they are getting a season 2. So considering that I didn't want to like start reviewing the show or whatever and it be canceled after the first season. So I wanted to watch this, all 6 of these episodes with you guys. I feel like it's perfect for my platform. And also it's another weight loss show. I think it's called Dangerously Overweight. So once I get done with this one, I want to also do that one, and hopefully by then the 1,000-pound roommates will be back on for their 2nd season. And just in case this is your first time seeing me, my name is Kimonica. I weigh 487 pounds at my max. I naturally lost over 300 pounds. I gained some weight back. I was at my happy place at about 215, 250, and then I gained about 45, 50 pounds back. And that is what I'm trying to lose right now. And it has been a struggle. I was in my early 30s when I, first started trying to lose those 300 pounds. I'm way off into my 40s now, and it has been difficult. It feels like every single time I feel like I got it, something happens. I don't know if it's hormonal. I don't know what it is, okay? But I'm gonna get it, okay? I'm gonna get these 45 pounds off, and they're going to permanently stay off just like I got them 300 pounds off, okay? I said all that to say I can relate to most of these weight loss shows. Yeah, granted, I might not have been, bed bound or as big as some of these people, but I was still almost 500 pounds. And I can relate to a lot of things that these people are going through, have went through, whatever. I can relate to all of it, okay? Again, I used to be 487. I got down to, I think my lowest was like 185, 187. Y'all remember we were there. And for me, my face was like sunken in a bit. I looked it older. It was like my youthfulness was kind of drained out of me. So I gained about 30 pounds, and I was good there. And a bunch of things happened, which I talked about on my YouTube channel, that packed on about 40 pounds. And here we are, okay? And so we will get these pounds off eventually. Be sure that you are following my Facebook, my Instagram, and of course YouTube. But I post more on those platforms, pretty much because they push my content. YouTube don't care about me. But I post way more videos over there. They're normally like in my stories or on my posts, things like that. I also have a subscription over there as well as on YouTube. The subscription over there, I've already been posting subscriber content on YouTube. I will start posting it. So if y'all are interested in additional content, check that out. I do have my iPad here, y'all, so I am watching this real time. Now, I know we all know that most of these companies, TLC, Hulu, Disney, they put copyright strikes, okay? You put too much of their content in your videos, they're gonna do copyright strikes. So as I'm watching this, I will try my best to insert some of the footage, some maybe just some still shots and some you can just hear it. Goodness, I couldn't get that out. Like voiceover where I could just put the picture in there and just let y'all hear the scene. Put some of the scenes in here. A lot of this would just be me talking, discussing, telling y'all what's going on. So now that we got all of that out of the way, this has 6 episodes, and I'm gonna try to get out 2 episodes per week. Yeah. I'm trying to do too much, okay? I'm trying to hold down a Facebook page, an Instagram page, 2 Facebook pages, 2 Instagram pages, 2 YouTube pages, hold down a job, hold down a relationship, and I just signed up to the university down here to go to school for my master's. Now I'm trying to start a new series on this YouTube channel. How did we get here? I don't know, okay? But we finna do it because I'm every woman. And it's what? All in me. Hey, Whitney. All right.
I am Jazz, the most amazing.
You were supposed to say me too.
Oh, and this is Nisha. We're roommates.
All right, y'all, so let's go for it. So jumping into the first episode of 1,000-Pound Roommates, we have Nisha and Jazz, right? First off, I might not mention this too much because I don't want to overdo it, but face cards. Okay, face cards. Don't decline. Love that for y'all. Y'all are beautiful. All right, so jumping into this episode, y'all. As I stated, I watched the first couple minutes and I stopped it and I was kikiing. I thought it was a kiki, but I also saw a lot of problems that I wanted to talk about. So yes, let's jump in.
We've tried so many things to lose weight.
Ew, what's in the bowl? Sea moss. I'm making us a drink.
What's the thing? But
So they go on to talk about how they've tried so many different diets, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, I can relate to that. I'm talking about cabbage soup diet, watermelon diet, water fasting, succotash diet. I could go on and on with the fad diets, with the, not even just fad diets, just dieting. So I can totally relate to all of the different diets, right? I thought that was so funny. Them facial expressions was so funny, baby, because let me tell you, some of the things we have tried to lose weight have been horrendous, okay? So I can totally relate. I'm probably going to use that little clip for plenty more videos to come. And so we also continue with the episode with Jazz talking about, or her doctor telling her that if she does not lose weight soon, her life is on the line. And she talks about how she wants to be there to take care of her daughter. Now, Niche comes off, I don't know, just so fun-loving, so supportive. You know, no shade, right? She knows that she's a big girl, just like I knew that I was 500 pounds. I could look in the mirror and see that. But she comes off like, girl, I'm overweight, but that ain't stopping nothing. I don't care about losing these pounds. They'll come off when they come off. I'm finna turn up. I'm finna have fun. I'm gonna help you and I'm gonna support you, but I'm finna eat whatever I want to eat. That's how she comes off to me the first couple of moments of seeing her. But I don't know.
it would be easier if you was doing this with me.
I want to lose weight, but that doesn't mean I have to be stuck on the scale all the time.
Which is interesting to me because when I, of course, looked at the title, looked at the first couple of seconds, I thought that they were both trying to lose weight, but the first couple of minutes gives me the impression that only Jazz is trying to lose weight, but I don't know. Let's continue. So I'm still at kind of the beginning at the plot of telling like what the season will be about, and it looks like Jazz got on something. Maybe Ozempic or some type of GLP-1. She was complaining about hurting and things like that. So let's see.
I just want everything to be okay.
Some of these ass shots is just crazy. I get it. You know, you want, I don't know, the most provocative scene, but my God, y'all ain't got to be about their butts the whole season. I hope that ain't what's going on.
We bond over the burger.
Dip, dip, double dip.
So I'm not going to stop every scene, y'all. I can just relate to them so much. So it's just this funny scene that they just had where they were dancing and talking about food in the car. And it made me flash back to, you know, back in the day, I used to be a part of like BBW groups. We used to hang out, travel together, eat, cook out, all the things. And it just made me think about that. And it's just like, when you're morbidly obese, do your friends especially if you're morbidly obese and you're on a weight loss journey, should your friends or your closest people to you also be morbidly obese but not on a weight loss journey? Like, that can be a big deterrent. But anyway, let's continue.
All right, can we get a double-double, no pickles? Then can we get another double-double with no tomato, an animal-style double-double with a vanilla and chocolate milkshake, a 4x4 meal, and animal-style fries?
Y'all, that order is wild. And the fact that she was like, I want the same is crazy. But I can't relate to that, y'all. I was never a binge eater. And I never, like, sat around and ate, you know, enough food for 2 or 3 people in one sitting. I was just more of a sweets girl, junk food girl, and that's how I gained my weight. I could sit down and eat a big, a family-sized bag of chips, a liter soda, and a pack of Little Debbie's or a half a box of Little Debbie's in one sitting. That's kind of how I ate versus just eating a whole bunch of food. It's all bad. You feel me? But I was more of a sugar girl.
We met online in a SSBBW community, and SSBBW stands for Supersized Big Beautiful Woman.
So Jazz and Niche met in a BBW group, y'all. That is where I met most of my BBW friends. And yeah. So they friendship seems to be that they bond a lot over food. Which I can understand that. They have that in common. They're big girls. They have food in common. They live together. Yeah, I could see that friendship working out. It's probably just an easy friendship. I really love the way that Jazz and Niche really love on Jazz's daughter. I have a biased belief that, especially, I'm not talking about anybody else, not people with disabilities, nobody else. I am on the belief that people that have been obese, that have been bullied throughout their life, just these people that I can relate to, they tend to have the biggest hearts that I've ever seen in my life. Like, they are the most kind and giving people I've ever met. And I don't know if it's because of their trauma or they just don't want other people to be treated like them. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
Nisha, can you bring me some snacks, please?
Girl, give me a second. I'm fat. I can't breathe. I'm trying to clean up this pee.
Y'all, I am kikiing. Why did Niche just say, y'all, I'm fat? I'm trying to sweep. I'm trying to do too much. Okay, y'all, listen. I be in the house, right? And somebody asks me to do something. And I'll be like, y'all, look, I'm talking to you. I'm walking. I can't do all that. I cannot walk, chew, talk, chew booba gum, do something. I can't do all of that. I'm going to lose my breath, okay? I can't do all of that. That's why when I be exercising, walking and talking, I can't do all of that. I'm trying to unbig my back. Wait until I unbig my back. So Niche talks about how she does most of the cleaning and things like that. And of course, that goes back to, you know, Jazz not being as mobile as she wants to be. And that kind of flashback, like, it was kind of a flashback for me, y'all, because that's kind of how it was when I lived with my mom. She did a lot of the house chores. I cleaned my room, of course, but I was not able to move and shake how I wanted to. And long story short, we used to cut our own grass, right? My mom used to cut the grass, y'all, backyard and front yard. I was too fat to do it, and I used to feel bad. And now that I'm older, I feel even worse. Yes, I was young. I was probably like 19, 20, 21, but whatever.
Good morning, sunshine.
What you got that on for?
You're going to have to get used to this because it's going to be like this all summer,
Then
baby.
we going to have a meeting.
All summer long.
Niche says she gonna be naked all summer long, baby. I know that's right. So Niche bribes Jazz into coming to the pool with her, and Jazz talks about how she just likes to stay in the house. So Jazz did get a bit breathy going from the apartment to the pool. She did have a hard time. I totally feel her. I could totally relate, y'all. That back and that breathing. Whew, I feel her pain. She also talks about all of the diets that she's tried over the years, but she's never tried weight loss surgery. Because of her weight, she's so big, she's scared to go under. So many people can have so many things to say. Like when people say that's super heavy, they'll say, well, you're almost dead anyway. But I'm not though. And I can try to lose the weight naturally, right? Either way, let's continue.
Yeah, we just lost 5 pounds. I don't know about you. I just lost 5 pounds.
Oh, Dee said about her getting in that pool, kicking her legs, she lost 5 pounds. It's funny, but she doesn't know how true that is if she stayed in the pool maybe an hour.
Jazz has a bidet, because she got all that bidet.
I got a bidet.
You got all that bidet.
I just have to say this. I'm delusional. Maybe I'm delusional. But Jazz is a big girl, but she is shapely, y'all. That ass is like, whoa. Like, if I was a dude, hey, girl, let me get behind that thing. Hey. I hate how sad Jazz is. I feel like I'm only 13 minutes into the episode, and I feel like she's cried 3 times, or I've seen her cry 3 times on the screen, and that makes me so sad. But then again, it makes me flashback, right, to me. Y'all, I've talked about this a long time ago. Most of y'all probably haven't heard this story, but I used to cry in the shower like almost every single night. I used to cry because I wanted to lose weight every day I was feeling. I used to cry because at that point I really never had a boyfriend, no one that truly loved me. I just thought I would just die big, fat, and lonely. So, like, being that overweight, y'all, it's so deep. It's just so deep. And it's so deeper than someone just saying, go run and go get on a diet. And I'm not delusional enough to know that she's not, she's sad, of course. She's unhappy with where she is. But the fact of the matter is, she didn't wait until a camera was in front of her to start crying. She's felt these feelings years prior to the camera. So that's why it's just off-putting when they put the crying scenes. So every time she's on the camera, she's crying. Man, it probably took me 10 years to realize that I didn't want to be morbidly obese all of my life. Man.
You ready?
We're going to the beach.
We're going to the beach.
We're going to the beach. Got the fat hotties with the bodies going to the beach.
Hey, fat hottie.
So Niche and Jazz is about to go to the beach, right? And Jazz doesn't want to go because she talks about how people take pictures of her and, stare at her. I could totally relate to that. One thing that I remember that happened to me, I still remember it to this day. I still remember that lady's face. I'll probably never see her again. I just remember passing by her. I was in Walmart rolling my cart, and she just said, oh my God, her ass is so fucking big. Or did she say her ass is so fucking huge? Either way, I remember like it yesterday, but clearly I don't. But I remember that. But the concerning thing about this particular scene for me is that Niche said, basically, if I give Jazz food, her favorite foods, what she likes, she'll be more willing to come out with me. And that's a bit concerning for a couple of different reasons, but for the obvious reasons, that could be seen as you're enabling her. You're enabling her to get what you want. That's not good. So far they haven't talked much about what Niche does. I get the impression that Niche doesn't work, and Jazz is taking care of the family by being a plus size model. They didn't show any like nude pictures or any, scavy pictures, but I'm gonna go off on the limb here and assume that she is a BBW plus size model, the types that I used to see, the types that I was in friendships with. They normally post nude. They normally do private shows that are normally on a website. I'm gonna go in that direction, but I could be assuming wrong. I must say, Jazz and Niche, y'all tunes be a bop, okay? Y'all tunes that y'all be singing for food and y'all activities, it be a bop. I be bopping with y'all.
I'm trying to debate if I should have a snack or not.
You can't wait? Not you pulling snacks out the titty.
Why Jazz just pull snacks out of her bra? I ain't never did that one. I had to think about it. I ain't never had hoarded snacks like a little squirrel in my bra. Yeah, no.
We're here. Look. As we're getting to Venice.
Now, I must say, y'all, they went to Venice Beach. Oh, packed out, people on the beach exercising. I don't know if I would have been able to do that one. Girl. I'm assuming she had, I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything, but baby, you brave, because I couldn't have did it.
Seeing all these people with bathing suits on, and I don't feel good at all. Like, I want to crawl under a rock. What's wrong?
The beach is right there. We're here.
I'm not going to the beach, Nisha.
We're already at the beach.
So Jazz broke down crying when she got to the beach, y'all. And Niche is, of course, trying to talk her into it. You know, at the end of the day, like I just said, I'm kind of on Jazz side with this one. I probably wouldn't have been able to do it either. It is what it is. I don't care what the naysayers say. You put yourself in a position so it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm here now. Okay, I'm here now. And what I'm not finna do is humiliate myself and make myself a target. No. So I completely agree with Jazz. When Jazz loses her weight and get in a better position that she feels comfortable to face the world, that's when she should face the world, and she should not be forced to do anything she doesn't want to do in situations like that. Y'all, I about cried with her, baby. I knew I could relate to their stories. I guess I just didn't realize how much I could relate to their story. So y'all, we are still on the beach scene, and I don't really know how I feel about Niche. Like, you know, she is trying to force Jazz. You know, even though Jazz is in tears, Jazz is sad, Niche is just like, who cares? This is your body. Who cares if they stare? Who cares? I see things both ways, y'all. I truly, truly do. But I can see Jazz's way better. Like, I completely understand her. Oh, that scene just made me sad. And so y'all, I don't know how to say this without it sounding crazy, or maybe y'all not understanding what I'm saying. But Niche comes off like, which is not a bad thing actually, but she comes off like a skinny woman in a big body. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when your best friend is morbidly obese and it seems like you can't relate to anything that she's saying to you, that's very interesting, very interesting, very weird. I don't know.
I was always a chunky girl. I grew up in a Christian cult in Long Beach. The pastor was very manipulative.
Niche tells a little bit about her backstory in the mid episode, and she talks about, you know, being in church and not being able to eat at certain times, and basically binge eating when she was able to eat. It's very interesting. I would love to know, can y'all relate to this, or do y'all know anyone like this? I grew up also in a very religious household. Very religious. And I turned out morbidly obese. A lot of people that I know that have grew up in religious households, very strict households, but people that I know throughout my life that grew up in like very religious households most of their lives, they tend to be obese or have other issues.
I want to order some chicken strips and some onion rings and some funnel cakes.
Y'all tell me why Niche did get out the car at the beach and walked in the sand, because she's trying to get Jazz just to walk in the sand. But tell me why the first thing she did when she hit the sand was to go to the first food truck. I can't. I love it. I'm dead. Girl. But Jazz did ask for some food a couple of minutes into the road trip.
Eating is like a switch. Once it's turned on, it's turned on. And it makes me so mad. That's not what life's supposed to be like.
So y'all, Jazz is crying again. She's probably done cried 4 times at this point, and I'm just like 20 minutes into it. But it's very interesting. Even though I can sympathize, empathize, in the next scene while she's crying, she's also eating unhealthy food. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It might be the editing. So Jazz was talking to her daughter, and in her confessionals and things like that, she talks about how she want to get healthy for her daughter. She want to play with her daughter, spend time with her daughter, and things like that. And this takes me back, and I've talked about this in plenty of videos. You, me, Jazz, Niche, we all have to be the main reason. Like, we all have to be the number one reason, because if we're doing it for someone else, it doesn't always work out that way, right? So once we're at the top, the next reason should be just as important. And for Jazz, her daughter is her push. So I love that. And I feel like when you have someone that you love on top of yourself, you will be even more successful.
I'm eating better and eating right. So I decided to kick things off with sushi.
So Jazz talks about starting her diet, and she's trying to talk Niche into starting the diet. So before Niche starts this diet, Niche wants her some sushi. So she looked like she went to the sushi train. If you do not know what the sushi train is, we do have one here in Nashville. Basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're sitting at a table, and it's a conveyor belt going around the whole restaurant, up, down, around, and it's just hundreds of plates of sushi. And you just open the lid, pull your plate, and it's all you can eat. Y'all know I done been there. Okay, I love me some sushi. So Niche was like, I gotta get me some sushi because that's what the skinny girls do. I know that's right.
Yeah. This not an XL?
This is what I got.
Okay. I'ma try.
Okay.
Jazz had a big dank moment. She ordered a Uber Plus or Uber Black, and a van showed up. She apologized to him. She was like, I ordered a larger car. He seemed so acceptable. Like, he seemed so fine. He was okay with it. He was like, girl, come on. And she fit in there fine. So no worries there.
This ain't gonna work.
What do you mean? Look, I'm in this chair.
See, I'm one of them type of people, I know my size. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these big girls that be coming into people's houses and just tearing their furniture up.
Again, something relatable. You know, Jazz talks about how she checks out the restaurant, you know, before she sit down, she evaluates the seat to make sure it's okay, all of that. We talked about this. What Kimonica ain't never did was fall out of a chair. Okay, I don't do that. Not because I don't sit in just random chairs. And what I do not do, I done seen way too many fat people do this. If y'all sit in them white lawn chairs, you deserve what you get.
So I got a question. You think that all that we ate was healthy today?
Girl, you know the Japanese, they be skinny.
And no matter what anyone says, our fat asses actually do be having conversations with our friends like, Shawty, do you really think we just ate healthy? Now, I would say this. I feel like this is complete editing. The way they make people seem like they're staring at them while they're eating, or they're staring at them while they're walking. And you can kind of see like the cutaway how they're actually not niche them, and those people probably aren't in the same. It just looks weird. And to be honest, yes, when I was heavier, I did experience, comment stares and all of that. But most people are not checking for you. Like, most people are not staring at you. Some people might double take, like, and think, say, dang, that's a big old girl. But most people aren't just staring. I've never had that. I've never had someone just stare me down. Unless they want to.
Currently.
I feel like the word vegan is just so strong. It's just such a strong, like when you hear vegan, it's like, oh.
That's because you gotta understand. For them, it's like, I'm a vegan.
So the producer asked them would they want to be vegans. That was a key. The whole conversation was hilarious, y'all. A vegan. I mean, when you do say it like that, it's like, do I want to be a vegan? And Lord, they said it is not in the cards for them.
How are you doing? Look at my baby.
All right, so there's so much I gotta say, but I'm not gonna dive too deep into it because that can be a whole different video. But there's a scene where Jazz has a friend, and I think her friend name is Linda, and they've been friends for a very, very long time. They haven't seen each other in a while or hung out, and I'm pretty sure it's because of, Jazz's weight. They talk about how they had all of these plans to travel the world and just you have the same car and just enjoy life together. That was, and I don't know, maybe I missed it or something, but I'm assuming that before Jazz got as big as she was, Linda was her BFF before Niche. And if that is the case, if I might have read that wrong, but if that is the case, that makes so much sense, y'all, because you tend to be friends with people that you have in common. It wouldn't make sense for, well, it would make sense, but normally you don't have people like Linda and Jazz BFFs hanging out together because Linda will become a caregiver. Anyway, that can be like a whole different video, but Linda did go on to do a quiz with Jazz.
What is it? Life expectancy calculator. So,
because she wanted, she's like, I love you and I want you to know where you are right now when it comes down to your health. So at the end of the quiz, at the end of the quiz, she told Jazz that people that answer the same questions only live to be about 44 years old. And Jazz is like, but I'm 40. It's a tough pill to swallow, man.
life expectancy calculator has really opened my eyes. I've decided I need to get the surgery now.
So after Jazz's friends talked to her about her health, Jazz decided, I need surgery. So she's decided she wants to have gastric bypass. So she set up a doctor's appointment to talk to the doctor. She talked about how she hasn't been to the doctor in like over 2 years. I thought it was funny because she talked about how Niche was an enabler. She also was on her way to the doctor's appointment. She was looking for food, y'all. I'm telling you, so relatable. But anyway, so the episode kind of wrapped up with Jazz getting on the scale for the first time in over a year. The episode stopped before they showed her weight. And then, of course, Niche was in the doctor's office waiting for Jazz to come back from her little checkup on the outside. They did have the conversation. Jazz asked Niche, would she, you know, have the surgery with her, and Niche was like, no, if I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna lose it naturally. Okay, so like I said, I kind of see a lot of myself in both of them.
I feel like it would be easier if you was doing this.
Yeah, that is the end of episode 1. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Please let me know below in the comment section if y'all did enjoy it. Please engage with the video by liking and or commenting. If y'all do not engage, YouTube won't push it, so no one will really know that I'm making these videos. But I would really like to know that y'all want me to do the whole season just by engaging, liking the video, commenting, all of those things. So I want to go ahead and jump into episode 2 so I can get both of those out this week. So let me go ahead and do that. I love you guys. Thank y'all so very much for watching. And again, I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all soon.